Hey, this video is all about how you can create an enough mindset for yourself because it's such a foundational and important thing to be able to do. And it's our mindset that often frames what we believe ourselves to be capable of or not. I'm actually going to read a little passage from my book because I think I say it well in there, and it'll probably sound better if I frame it up that way, about why an enough mindset is so useful. And then I'll offer you a couple of tools to help you get there. Here we go, from my book, The Art of Enough. Enough is a place of fullness. Enough is a generative state full of stretch and growth and ambition to fill our potential because it moves us beyond our limiting judgments. Enough is a state of elegant balance where being and doing are finely poised in equilibrium, deeply interconnected. An enough mindset offers us a way of being and believing that is sourced by love and abundance. There is enough. We can do enough. We are enough. So of course, right, that's the prize, that's the goal, to believe those things, and what a relief and a release that is. And indeed, as I've said before, it's a springboard actually to living a really full and successful life. And successful, I mean, in terms of doing what we want to be doing, and achieving what we want to be achieving, from a place that of fullness rather than lack. So an enough mindset is all based in this idea that life is abundant, that we draw our energy from love, not fear, and we acknowledge the world as it really is, not some fantasy of what we'd like it to be. So we are who we are, not the versions of ourselves that we wish we were, however hard we wish it. And actually, just setting that as a level playing field is such a useful way of thinking about this stuff. So how do we go about changing our mindset? Well, there's a sort of 4-stage process for nearly all of this stuff, which is really useful to think about. And that's this: notice, pause, make a choice, reset. So when we're looking at changing our mindset, how we think, if you like, where we're coming from, the assumptions and things that drive what we think and therefore what we allow ourselves to do, we first have to get really good at noticing what that mindset is that we've currently got. So are we currently operating with a scarcity mindset, or are there times when we do? And when do we default to a scarcity mindset, not an enough mindset? So getting really curious and interested in your own voices in your head, if you like. Sometimes it's called patterns of self-talk. How do you talk to yourself? What voices do you hear? What voices do you listen to? What's the tone of voice of those voices? And what's the level of judgment or not? And is there ever any self-compassion? Those sorts of things. So beginning to notice those, and then offering yourself an alternative. So if you notice that you've got a really loud critical voice, for example, one thing that you can do is to invite other voices. If you imagine yourself at a party, for example, just being sort of commandeered by this very loud critical voice, there are plenty of other people at the party that you could, if you chose to, go and listen to. So what would somebody else say about what you've just done, or what this voice is berating you for? So beginning to consciously think, what did I do well here? What's another way of looking at this? Adding perspective, adding other voices. And it takes intention and it takes practice. So you're noticing, you're pausing to reflect, and you're making a choice to offer yourself something different so that you can reset. This stuff doesn't happen overnight. You have to really consciously do this, and sometimes it really helps to journal. Other practices that are really, really useful are beginning to do an appreciation practice, where every day you write down 3 things that you're grateful for to yourself, or you appreciate about what you've done. Because what that does is begin to give you more choice, so that you begin to realize that that critical voice isn't the only voice, and offer yourself an alternative to that. So this thing about noticing what your mindset is, reflecting on that, is it the mindset you want? making a choice to consciously move from scarcity or excess to enough. And if you are doing that, adding to your portfolio of things that you can draw on, add more voices in your head, challenge your assumptions, build practices that give you repetitive validation that what you do day in, day out. Sometimes there are 3 things that, even if it's just 3 things you can appreciate about yourself, will really help you to then reset. So awareness is everything in this work, and beginning to notice, pause to reflect, choose and reset, and building up your portfolio of practice so that you can begin to offer yourself a version of yourself, which is that there are good things that you do and that you do things really well, and that you're grateful to yourself for doing that, can really help. Try those things and see how they work. I look forward to hearing how they go for you. Take care. Bye now.